Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check a fresh release from Jasmine Model. It's a kit which is made in 1/72nd scale, and I'm not saying it's molded in 1/72nd scale because as you can see, this is not a plastic kit, this is a PE set. And it is finished in a typical design for this manufacturer, but this time it copies BF 109E-4. We have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So we are going to open it and check what is actually supplied here and why it should be interesting for this, who usually build plastic kits. So first of all, packaging here is quite simple. This is a PE set, so it's not that huge as you can see. We have also a picture of the finished model, and on the rear side there is an assembly manual visible, but we are going to open it. Just give me a second. In case you missed previous reviews, I really recommend to check them because we have reviews of various kits from Jasmine Models and also their builds, because we've assembled these kits and also won some competitions with them, so it is really interesting to see them in action. So I removed everything out of this plastic box. We have assembly manual, then we have also, I guess these are plastic parts, we will check them later, because the main thing here is this one and only PE thread. So let's zoom in and check it closer. Just like previous kits from Jasmine Model, as you can see, this one is finished in silver color. So here we have a lot of tiny bits. Of course, all these middle tabs, they will have to be bent, so be ready for this. And this is a PE set, so it will require usage of CA glue, otherwise you won't be able to assemble it. I saw some modelers using the welding, or let's say the ironing techniques in order to connect all the parts, but it is a bit more difficult, and of course it will require some experience from you. But CA glue is not that difficult, and of course you can let's say adjust the amount of glue you apply on the part so that you will get nice result. But overall detailing should be really nice. As you can see here, we have almost all parts copied in PE, even dashboard here or instrument panel is copied in PE, and as far as I remember, fitment is also nice, and this is a BF 109E-4, so you can get some additional accessories from aftermarket manufacturers, but we will talk about this later. Now I'm opening the plastic bag in order to see what is actually copied here with plastic. So first of all, the biggest part is the engine, and we can actually zoom in so that you can see it. So here we have one piece engine, and it looks really nice. It is, as you can see, made out of silver colored plastic or maybe resin, but we do not have any resin base, so I guess that's a plastic. And note that all parts, all elements, they're pre-molded, so it means you won't have to attach the separate small parts. Some modelers will like it, some modelers will try to resort to some, let's say, resin upgrades, but it will be up to you. Next we go on with one piece propeller. That's also quite surprising thing. As you can see, the propeller hub is molded as a one piece, so it should speed up assembly process. Next we go on with landing gear wheels. They look completely fine for out of the box bonus, and let's not forget that this is 1/72nd scale kit, so here you can see comparison with my fingertip. These are really small parts. Next we have the fuel tank, as far as I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, here it is. And again it is molded as a one piece part. Landing gear legs are also supplied in plastic. Next we go on with machine guns, and these ones I'm not sure if they should be used just like this, because as you can see they're slightly bent. But they look fine, and again nobody stops you from getting some resin replacement for this in order to get even more impressive appearance. Here we have another tank, I guess that's the oil tank. And then the last plastic part is the pilot seat. So what do we have here? Actually, I'm just noticed that engine is molded together with engine exhaust. That's really quite surprising. And overall molding quality seems to be fine, so I don't see any problems with these parts, but as I said, maybe you can compare some aftermarket wheels and for example engine if you would like to get even better detailing, but of course it will cost you extra money, so it's already your decision if you would like to invest in such build, or you would like to improve original plastic parts, maybe with some additional PE from aftermarket manufacturers again. I guess Edward will definitely produce something for such small BF109. Next we go on with assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of small brochure. As you can see here, we have a picture of the finished model, and next we go on, let's say, with parts map, which is quite simple obviously, and then we start assembly process. So everything begins with cockpit. As you can see, there are a lot of parts to apply, and whole cockpit cage will be assembled out of PE parts. Then you have to install the wing spars, and next you continue by bending all these tabs or ribs in the wing structure. So it will be quite a tedious process because you will have to repeat it from both sides. So be careful in order not to break them. It is also quite easy thing to do. Then you install this middle tab, and you continue by installing minor parts here and there. Here you start working on the instrument panel, and note that it will be only the empty circles, there are no dials, so maybe this is also quite an interesting spot for upgrade, because it will add some visual interest to the cockpit. Next, here we have engine, and engine will be also upgraded with PE parts, because, for example, engine holding brackets are made out of PE parts, and some of the external equipment on the engine is also copied with help of metal. Next, we continue with target sight, and I'm not sure what these blue dots mean, maybe where you can attach these parts. Here you can see that red dots, they mean where you have to bend these parts, because, for example, here in tail area you'll have to bend some of these elements. Next you continue with whole fuselage section. As you can see, it will be installation of this middle section over and over. Here we continue by closing the fuselage with another half, if we can say so. And here you install the rear struts for tail wings. Next you install machine guns. We have also landing gear wheels. Canopy will be assembled only out of frame, so basically you have to bend the PE part, this one, in order to achieve the more or less convincing canopy. Maybe some modelers will also add a film, transparent film, but again it's also your decision, because otherwise it would be tricky for some other modelers, so I guess that's why manufacturer decided not to add it into the original package. So it's up to you completely. And here we have several photos of the finished kit, so you can understand what you will get out of this kit. Overall we get really nice combo of PE and plastic. Of course, this is not a beginner's kit, and scale adds to it, because 1/72 scale should be even more tricky to work with. So if you have some previous experience with PE parts, it will be usable here, because as you can see, yes, we have these large wing parts, but then let's zoom in so that you can understand. But then we get really small pieces here, which will have to be bent as well. Note that seat belts are also supplied for pilot seat. This is really surprising in my opinion. And they're unpainted, so maybe it's worth trying to paint these parts. And here we continue with these thin parts, thin ribs for the fuselage, which will be attached on these middle sections. So again, you will have to, let's say, follow the amount of CA glue you apply on the model, because otherwise it will be a bit dirty model if you apply a lot of it. And here we also should be ready to use PE benders, let's say. I'm not sure how you can do it with normal tools, so it's better to have the special PE bender tools. They're not that expensive, but they will be handy, and you will see that it really has some influence on the final appearance of the model, on the ease of assembly. So I definitely recommend you to get one for clean work, let's say. As for the plastic parts, for example engine, I think it looks really good for out-of-the-box bonus. So maybe only really demanding modelers, they will upgrade it to resin replacement. But here I think we get everything what we need, and maybe you can paint it in order to achieve even more impressive appearance. that will definitely change the whole appearance, because just the silver part is not enough for this model. So, as I say, this kit should be already available for purchase on official Jasmine Model website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!